Hey entrepreneur, this is Mark Newsom, Mr. Marketing. Welcome to this special presentation entitled How to Turn One of the Most Powerful Marketing Lessons You Can Learn from Your Local Supermarket into a bona fide profit center. Ladies and gentlemen, these days groceries are not the only benefit that you can derive from visiting your local supermarket. In fact, if you really take the time to stop and notice, entrepreneur, your local supermarket, can demonstrate to you one of the most powerful marketing lessons you can learn anywhere. So let's take a look at how your local market might use those little tiny strategically placed displays. You know how they have them set up at the store? And let's see what marketing lessons we can learn. So let's discover the 5 extremely powerful marketing lessons that they can and should teach you. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you know how you go in the store and they'll have this nice personable associate standing at the end of the aisle, and they'll have these samples. Sometimes it's these really high-end gourmet meats that they're introducing. Other times it's these super calorie-rich desserts that we all know we shouldn't have, but oh well. Well, let's take a look at the 5 major marketing lessons you can and should learn from this proven strategy. Number 1, entrepreneurs, it's always best to start small. That way, if your hunch is wrong, it's not going to cost you the proverbial fortune. In fact, think about this. How many times have you got those little flyers in the mail from some local pizzeria, some local restaurant? Number 1, what if you don't even eat meat? They have no idea or way of knowing this, yet they spend all this money to just, get a mailer for a different zip code, and they mail it out. And usually they're going to get less than 1%, and they're going to conclude that direct mail doesn't work and this is a waste of time. The point is, had they have started small by simply offering samples to their market, to their clientele, they wouldn't have to send out mailers to everybody. They could just send them out to specific clientele that showed a positive interest in this particular thing, and then invited that person to invite somebody else, or that family to invite another family. You see how that makes a lot more sense? So the first thing you want to learn from this is, just like the stores with those small samples, you want to start small. Now here's the other thing, which kind of piggybacks off of that. You always want to use any and all positive feedback to explore whether or not it makes sense to expand the product line or service. Now notice I'm throwing service in there because you might be contemplating whether or not you should add free gift wrapping or free shipping with a minimum order. These are the kind of things that you can discover when you start really small and you test. On the other hand, if you get super negative feedback right out the gate, well, then you need to scratch it altogether. So it's very, very important that you start small, but B, you also look for the feedback, because your customer base, more so, ladies and gentlemen, than any so-called focus group, because in reality that focus group is not voting with their wallet, they're just giving you their opinion. The people who shop there, your customers and your clients, they're the ones you listen to. So here's the third marketing lesson. And this is really powerful, entrepreneur. Pay attention to this. Look for some simple, low-cost ways to get other local, non-competing, that's key, businesses to offer this, meaning your product or service, to their customers. Now let me give you a classic example of what I'm talking about, since we're talking about foods and desserts. Here's what some of the big-time gourmet dessert companies do. When they're trying to come into a specific area, they'll go to the top-end restaurants first, and they'll say, hey, we will allow you to sell, let's just use cheesecake. This gourmet cheesecake, we will give it to you at no cost to you whatsoever. You serve it to your clientele, charge whatever you want. However, By testing, we found that it's best if your competitors normally sell this for $8 a slice. You should sell it for $3 a slice for two reasons. Number one, if they like it, they'll buy more of it. Number two, they'll spread the word. Number three, they'll buy it as gifts to give away at the holidays and for anniversaries. They'll bring it to house parties as a gift. But the point is, we'll help expand your clientele and at the same time expand our customer base. And the restaurant says, well, how are you going to do that? Because after they get that initial slice from you and they want to know where they can get more, that's when you simply give them our business card, which sends them to our website. They can order and we'll send it directly to them. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you can see how powerful and profitable that strategy is, because it's done every day of the week, entrepreneur. And here's the other thing. You could do a reverse. What do you mean, Mark? A savvy restaurant owner could go to one of those gourmet companies and say, hey, we can help you expand your customer base. And they say, well, how do you do it? Say, you give us those. What we'll do is we'll just take a sample of several things and we'll start offering with a free, say, in other words, anybody orders over $50, we'll offer them their choice of any free dessert they want. They'll sample what they want. We'll find out specifically what the majority of our customer base wants. You start supplying us with the initial samples, and then when they want more, they go directly to you. Ladies and gentlemen, if you can't see how powerful that is, check your pulse. So here's the fourth marketing lesson you can and should learn. Would it make sense to let another local, non-competing business, again, buy it from you at cost and either give it away as a free bonus or sell it outright as a profit? Now, let me give you, this almost seems like the same thing, but it's not. Let me give you a classic example of what I mean. Let's suppose that you're a big-time jeweler. You sell, anniversary rings, bracelets, necklaces, and all that stuff. At Christmas time, if they can buy that gourmet dessert, they can send out a survey to their specific customers and say, hey, we have a chance to come across, say, 5 different desserts. Which one would you like? And they send it to them as a free gift. Now, again, what's going to happen when these people, or let's say they have a newsletter and they ask people to go to their website and tell them what events they have coming up. And they get this whole list of people, and then they joint venture that list with the gourmet food company. Do you see how powerful this can be, entrepreneur? Man, I hope you see how powerful this could be. And finally, number 5, does it make sense to simply create a free monthly drawing and simply use this item to build your list? Now, ladies and gentlemen, I specifically left this one for the end for a specific reason. And here's what I want you to think about. What do most people do with their websites that are doing it the right way online? That they start out with a free opt-in. Exactly. In other words, they start at the front. Do you see how, if you work backwards through these 4 concepts we gave you prior to number 5, how there's a whole bunch of things you might do before you offer specifically what you're holding out as a free carrot right now? That might be far more powerful and advantageous for you. Well, entrepreneur, you've been given a whole lot to stop and think about here. That is highly recommended, seriously, that you go through this list, at least 2 or 3 times, because that will really get the cylinders clicking. And then, my friend, you're going to be on to something huge. So with that said, for those of you who want to discover how you're going to add an additional 25% more gross profit to your bottom line in the next 90 days or less without adding any new customers or clients, then entrepreneur, grab that free 9-page special report. You know where to get it. youcanmarketonlinenow.com/sales. This is Mark Newsom, Mr. Marketing. We'll see you again next time on the Marketing Minute.